Hello and welcome back to Recapped Movie. Today, we will review an American psychological crime thriller movie titled 13. Movie starts with a boy who is desperate to get his hands on some money, so he enters a deadly game. In game, he competes against the best of the best. All odds manages to survive the game, but then he faces the man who has never been taken down. Two men point guns at each other and the scene shifts to 3 days ago. A boy named Vince comes out of his house with his mother. Meanwhile, both having intense expressions on their faces. His sister comes running behind them asking if they are sure about what they are going to do. It turns out that they are putting their house on sale to be able to pay for their father's medical bills. Vince then goes to see his dad, who is in a hospital bed. The boy works as an electrician and has many clients. Today his client is Mr. Harrison. The man opens a letter having no idea that he is being watched by a cop. He takes the letter to his much younger girlfriend, telling her that he is going to make a lot of money through this. Vince eavesdrops on the whole conversation, and as he gets out of the house the cop takes a picture of him as well. That day, it is his youngest sister's birthday and the whole family is together to celebrate it. The scene changes to a man named Jasper meets with a man who lent him $2 million. That man is expecting to be paid $3 million in return in 3 days. The scene changes to a prison where 3 officers open a cell and deliver a bag to the prisoner. And then those officers are putting that prisoner in a coffin. Next day, when Vince goes to the hospital to see his sick father, he is told that his father is going to need yet another surgery and it worries him a lot. Vince now starts thinking about coming up with a plan, otherwise they are going to be ruined. He goes to work again at the same client's place and finds Mr. Harrison in a meeting with a friend. He tells the man that he has gotten a job through which he is going to make a buttload of money. As they talk, Vince overhears everything. Meanwhile, the man gives himself an injection, and when he goes to his girlfriend to make love, he has a heart attack and dies. Vince is about to go upstairs. He finds that letter and keeps it with him. The envelope that he stole has a train ticket for New York and a CPS receipt for pickup. Vince goes to the post office, gives his ID to the man working there, and in return the man gives him a package and a cell phone. He also gives him a key and a letter with a spider logo. Plus, he receives instructions on how he should use the money that has been given to him. He is told that he is not allowed to take his own phone and can only use the phone provided to him. Harrison's girlfriend goes to the police and tells them about the missing envelope. They make inquiries about it, and it turns out that Vince is the one who pulled off the thievery. They then inform the detective investigating the case behind the envelope, and he is ordered to follow Vince. Vince decides to get on with the plan. He wears a nice suit and makes his way to New York, being totally unaware of the fact that he is being followed by a cop. A man who was put in a coffin is taken to a mysterious place where a man in a black suit appears and orders his men to unshackle his legs and take him away. Vince stays at the hotel, and in the middle of the night, he receives a call on the given cell phone. He pretends to be Harrison and they give him a new set of instructions. The next morning, he goes to the Postnet store by Grand Central. There he finds a locker, and this is the time to use the key given to him. In that locker he finds a new envelope with another train ticket. Plus, he also gets a card, and on that card number 13 is written along with some more instructions. He has been given a ticket to Macomb, but he is supposed to get off one stop before the actual destination. As he sits on the train, the TC approaches him and asks him for his ticket. TC then goes to the detective who has been following Vince and tells him that he is getting off at Macomb. Vince, however, gets off a stop before that, so he manages to evade the cops. The next instruction is to go to the outskirts of the town, and when his taxi is gone, another car appears. The driver introduces himself as Jack and shows a card containing the number 13. Vince shows him his card as well. Jack then takes his phone and asks him to sit in the car, and they drive away. The detective who has been following Vince arrives there, but too late. The man is already gone. They do not even have any clues to follow Jack. He then takes the boy to a shack in the middle of the woods. There are 2 other men as well, and they give the boy some fresh clothes and order him to put them on right away. They then thoroughly search him, and when they are unable to find anything in his clothes, they even cut off the heels of his shoes, but the boy is clean. He is taken to a grand mansion that is filled with rich people from different places. There, an old man named Joe meets Vince. He of course knows that Vince is not Harrison. Joe is his patron. He goes on to give the boy a chance to explain himself, and Vince tells him that he is going to play instead of Harrison as he is already dead. Joe does not want to get in trouble with the other patrons, so he has no choice but to allow him to be a part of the game. Vince then makes his way downstairs and finds a lot of rich people who are betting big chunks of money. Jasper also arrives there and goes on to bet on the participant. He patrons the participant's name is number 6, and Joe bets with Vince number 13. Vince is then given a gun, and he must stand in a circle with other guys wearing black t-shirts. Everyone is given 1 bullet, and they are supposed to spin the cylinder and point at the person in front of them. However, Vince is really nervous. He takes Jack's help to load. We see a bulb with a spider on it, and when that lights on, this is the cue for the participants to shoot. The bulb lights up, and with multiple shots a few men die. Vince, however, finds himself unable to shoot. A security person comes to him and yells at him, making it abundantly clear that he must shoot. They tell him that if he does not do that the next time he is going to be killed. He finally gathers the courage to shoot, but he turns out to be a lousy shot as the guy in front of him survives. When the first round is over, Joe gives him a piece of his mind as he tells him to man up. He then takes bets from the patrons whose people have died. Meanwhile, Patrick talks to his patron and begs him to get out of here. He even offers him a lot of money. Patrick is number 17, and he is the same man who was put in a coffin and shipped to this place. Jimmy, however, does not believe his story and refuses to help him. Jasper, on the other hand, puts bets on his brother, who happens to be his player as well. The second round starts, and this time each player has a gun loaded with 2 bullets. He survives this round as well because the man behind him is killed before he could fire. Number 16 survives, but the security shoots him as he is not able to continue the game. Jefferson again tells his patron a story. He tells him that he buried a big amount of money somewhere and asks him to retrieve it. If he is not able to make it out of here alive, and he tells Jimmy to keep half of the money and give the other half to his son, who is in jail. Now, it is time for the third round to start. The host announces that each participant is going to be provided a gun with 3 bullets. The spider bulb lights, and the players shoot. Many die this time as well, and for the fourth round only 5 of them are left alive: Vince, Ronald, Jefferson, number 9, and number 3. The competition can now enter the final stage of the game, which is the duel. 5 wrapped balls are put on the table. There are 2 black and 3 white. The patron of the surviving players is going to choose a ball. The 2 that get the black balls are going to be the ones in the final duel, and the remaining 3 are going to be given a chance to leave. Joe and Jasper pick the black balls, meaning that Vince is now going to be in a duel with Ronald. Jasper's player is more experienced and no one out there knows Vince, so Ronald and Jasper receive more bets. When Jefferson is about to leave after collecting his money, Jimmy attacks him from behind and tries to kill him, but the security arrives there. Jefferson burns the map Jimmy was supposed to take in case he is killed. Jefferson is unable to believe that he is free to go, and on top of that he got to earn a lot of money. When the final round is about to start, Ronald loses it. He is pissed off at Jasper and yells at him to give him his share. We learned that Jasper is an absolute monster. After his parents died, he got a lot of money and put his brother in a mental hospital. He only brings him out to take part in this very game and always keeps all the money. But this time Ronald makes it abundantly clear that he needs his share. The final round begins, and against the odds Vince wins the duel and gets 185,000. He also learns that his opponent won last 3 duels. He collects his winnings and sneaks away from the mansion. Arriving at a train station, he spots police coming towards him. He stashes his winnings in a garbage. After being interrogated by the police, he retrieves the money and sends it to his family via registered mail. Then he buys a toy for his sister's birthday. However, on the way home he is shot by Jasper, partly in revenge for Ronald, and steals the money as he thinks Vince still has the money with him. Jasper escapes with the money bag, not knowing that it only contains the toy. That is all for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. It helps us a lot.